Good night.
My thoughts on it are very clear. I believe that yes, we do need the Prime Minister and anyone else who travels on behalf of Barbados to indicate that they are doing so, given the importance of integrity. But for me as well, I think that it's very important that we have some sort of body that holds our individuals accountable. Yes, um, Prime Minister is basically the highest, or they say practically the highest power in the land. But the thing about it is that you still need someone who can be that check and balance. I know it was supposed to be the opposition, but I think the fact that we've seen what has happened with the 30 love, not once but twice, we know that we need something in addition to that to ensure the security of our politics, ensure the security of our integrity, of our leaders, etc., etc. And we could have the conversation from there.
Ferdinand and
Okay.
Victor.
Yeah. Mhm.
Thank you, Maxine, for the question. When it comes to apathy, I would prefer more to give examples. It was actually in class, I think it was Tuesday, and one of my lectures we did something pertaining to computer science, and one of the questions were, "Who is Ralph Thorne?" And no one knew who he was. They didn't know that he actually became the president of the DLP. So I use that as the example to say that I believe that one, the DLP needs to make themselves more aware to the youth. Yes, they are trying with the different segments online, but they have to boost their strategy. I think that is where we're going to see persons, or have been seeing persons not being so interested in the political landscape because it's just the perception of, oh, it's just mere motley. For example, something that is a trend now. Every time it's something good, they say, oh, thank Mia. I've literally seen that on videos. I've literally seen persons saying, I only got 100 Mia Motley dollars. So they put me as our honorable prime minister's name behind everything now pertaining to me and Motley dollars and that type of stuff. So the branding of the BLP is so strong now that persons may vote for them. No, pertaining to the percentage of persons who are not necessarily voting is one. They're so intelligent and so not fooled by a lot of the political slang, political schemes, or in modern term we call it politics, that they're not interested in voting for persons, right? Because obviously some politicians come around only when it's time to vote. The other section I'm speaking for on the aspect of the youth is persons who are just so busy with life and have so much things going on, they are not really interested or keeping track of what is going on. Leading back to my original example, because persons, as I said before, are so busy that they didn't know who actually is the Honorable Ralph Thorne. So just giving that to show the perspective is just the branding of the BLP is so strong that they have their voter amount. Then the persons who may necessarily want to vote for the BLP, they're not actually getting attracted. And then obviously the well west of voters who are not voting at all because they're not interested, because they're so tired with the politics and they're so tired of the promises being delivered on both sides. So that's a synopsis of it.
That interesting.
Uh, may I add something? Pastor
Yeah.
Ferdinand?
Yeah. Sure.
Something quickly. When I say busy, I don't mean like busy pertaining to activities. I'm speaking pertaining to the aspect of gaining money, right, or income, because it's very difficult, especially as a young person in Barbados, to survive here in this country. So I speak for myself, especially like it's go. So when this comes to anything else, is very difficult, and that's where it's at right now. It's just persons are just so um completely involved in themselves trying
And
to
living,
survive.
surviving. Okay.
So as
Getting
that
ahead.
Marva M. Hunt said, young people only vote because of money, which is the truth because at the end of the day, things are hard here. So that's what it is. I believe there's certain elements that occur. I'm not a um learned, extremely learned person pertaining to economics, but for me, I believe that we have to look at one, what a person is buying and selling, or have been buying and selling from the person mentioned the 80s till now, right? We also have to look at the fact that we are not producing any goods, so that to offset certain costs, right? Or I should say any major goods that would help to offset certain costs. So for me, It's a matter of us understanding as a people that we've been importing, and then the merchants, when they have to pay the customs duties, they still have to make a profit. And when the cost of goods over there, when I say over there, I mean overseas, goes up, obviously the cost will go up here. So this keeps on happening, and then obviously it reduces the person's ability to spend. That's one.
Mhm.
Two, on the front of government, no persons could correct me that have the experience, but it's just my perspective on it. I believe if we are not seeing an increase in taxation, when I say increase in taxation, I mean in terms of earnings from taxation, then the government may not be able to pass on those benefits to the people, which have occurred countlessly. Something that has occurred, and the merchants, they may not like me for saying this, is that there have been instances where the merchants could pass on savings and did not pass on savings to the people of Barbados.
That's right. That's right.
So the thing about it is a mix of these elements that we now have to come and say, okay, what can we do to rectify this problem, right? Is it a matter of the people producing more to offset said costs? It is a matter of we are bringing more foreign companies, or even Marcia will tell you what we're doing in the tech space, bringing more, creating more technological companies, creating more manufacturing companies, so that we can send out or export our goods. I know we speak about the repatriation essence of our economy, but the thing about it is that can only carry a country so far, especially Barbados, that has a population of roughly 280,000. If we are saying we want to repatriate and we want to send persons overseas, then we have the same problem with population. So the thing about it is a chain reaction, and it's something that we have to really have a conversation about. I believe that throughout the years, the leaders are extremely intelligent, but certain periods of time we made decisions and we've not really gotten a chance to see what will be the repercussions. If a person knew the repercussions, they didn't really care to change it. And that leads into what I want to speak about the education aspect, but we'll stop here, and then when you call me again, I will speak about the education aspect.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rose. Thank you so very much. Theory.
I just want to say it's always a privilege and a pleasure to speak to the people of Barbados on this show. What I would say to my people is that look into yourself and see what you can do. We at Carry Ventures Global, one of my companies, our motto is the urgency of no. Right? You know the Barbadian and motto is probably that industry, but I think Barbadians are too proud, um, given what's going on in our country, and we're not being as much so, or even if using the correct grammatical context, industrious. So I believe we need to be more so looking at the urgency of no, and looking at how we can execute, doing, not talking. So that's all I have to say.